my god! Have you seen that shit? Holy shit! What the hell? I'm back, boys. Ready for the extra stream. Thanks, Scotty. Okay. We're playing Necrons now. We have the faction we haven't played yet. I'm gonna be playing standard, why not? Recommend for 2 players. Let's see how the small map looks like. We keep the quests, everything medium. We'll play with the advanced eventually. Space Marines were not in our last game, so we put the Space Marines as our enemy. What color Necrons are we gonna be? Ned, what color should we be? We were Evil Sun Scarlet last time. Lead Belcher. Lycian green, orange. Trossler orange, okay. And the Marines will make them blue. Moderate loyalty advantage given, no advantage or disadvantage given. I like this. We'll play on hard. This looks like okay settings here. Necron says, eternity ago the Necrons ruled the stars as cruel, deathless metal masters. Now they are awakening. Legions of sinister advanced war machines are pouring from the tomb worlds, conquering and slave. Nothing mortal is safe. Okay, we'll keep the game speed to standard. 2 players, hard, let's go. It's our first time in the Necrons.
For eons we waited for
digital
new
setup
life to cover our world. Life weak with the warp's taint. The time was ripe. ripe to wake, to finally defeat the Old Ones, to take the galaxy for ourselves. Our old enemies left us a gift, one that tore the planet apart and trapped us here. This is a rude awakening, but this planet shall learn to fear the Necrons again.
Yeah. So the Necron tombs, we're gonna be reading this. We all read this with the other factions, but not as the Necrons. Hey George. Deep beneath the innocuous patch of land lies an entombed city where the Necrons have slept away the long millennia. For one who knows the correct protocols, it's a simple matter to begin the procedure of awakening it and its inhabitants from their dreamless sleep. So, what does it say for the Necrons? Initial challenge easy, deathless metal. Arise can only found cities on top of tombs. Necrodermis repair units can repair in the field, like a regeneration. Dimensional corridor, infantry units can teleport to cities and monoliths. Sleeping units, energy is for production or for upkeep. Rapid rise, rush production when time is of the essence. No food, no use for food, population consumes ore. Cast off the shackles of their slumber, the galaxy shall be ours once again. Anarchy, the Traveler, Necron Overlord. An eternity ago, the Necrons forsook the frailties of flesh for deathless bodies wrought from cold metal. In their subjugation of the star gods known as the Satan, in their new immortal form, they took on then masters of the galaxy, the Old Ones. And in eons long battle, they defeated them. In the desperation, the Cold Ones seeded the galaxy with psychic races, thus awakening the horrors of the warp and the Necrons. Weakened by the simultaneous battle of liberation from Satan, retreated to their homeworlds. There, falling into hibernation, they slumbered for untold time, as other races were born and drove themselves to extinction. They lay deep and undisturbed in multitudinous worlds, tended and defended in their not sleep by their monstrous canoptic automata. Now across the galaxy they are awakening. Even here, these crown world's master circuits are steering. The Necrons, now unthinking machines, save for their few lords and triarchs, are arming themselves for war again. Their technology is millennia ahead of that of the galaxy's younger races. Soon legions of sinister advanced war machines will pour from the tombs buried beneath the planet to conquer and enslave. Nothing morally safe. Started with 2 units of warriors. Warriors cost production and energy. They have upkeep of ore. We do not have food. 1.5 ore upkeep. Even with only a glimmer of consciousness to guide it, our Necron warrior is a fearsome and resilient foe. Armed with ancient energy weapons, they can sight down their enemies with little volleys of ghost flare fire, while their unyielding metal bodies repair themselves should they sustain damage. 6 armor, pretty good. 15 health, nice. 12 morale, that's pretty high. 3 movement, 1 action. They have ghost flare weapons. Damage is 1.5, attacks 1, no armor penetration, 8 accuracy. Ghost scales the minimum damage with the hit points of the target unit. As a rapid fire, ghost weapons vary in appearance from the rifle-sized flares to the massive heavy ghost cannon. Unlike more conventional energy weapons, the ghost projector emits a molecular disassembling beam, reducing flesh, bone, and even armor to its constituent atoms. And we have a Canoptic Spider. Canoptic Spider is a unit that found cities on the top of Necron tombs. We can only found the city hit there. Though essentially an automated drone, a Canoptic Spider is nonetheless a formidable foe. Its vast array of self-repair and backup systems, vital for enduring uncaring millennia, offer substantial protection against incoming fire. In return, any enemy that strays within reach of the Canoptic Spider will have flesh scarred from bone by a multitude of mechanical tools and pincers. 8 armor, so pretty good, 8 in health. Is unaffected by morale. It has a close combat weapon. This is, I think, description of any weapons. Warriors across the galaxy employ a wide variety of close combat weapons. Blood-flecked chain swords and crude knives take their place alongside powered weapons of all kinds. Swords, axes, hammers, and many more. All such weapons are designed to bring quick and painful death to the foe. For every moment's delay brings defeat a step closer. 3 damage to attacks, 10 armor penetration, so melee attack is pretty good, 6 accuracy, 50%. Melee attack is pretty good, and has a twin-linked particle beamer. Has a blast. Blast scales the damage with the group size of the target unit, and twin-linked increases the accuracy. These weapons emit a stream of minuscule antimatter particles that detonate upon contact with their target. They are incredibly reliable, needing only enough energy to maintain the containment field that prevents the antimatter from detonating within the weapon's own firing mechanism. Particle beamers. Antimatter particles. This is against the group. Has a range of 2. What is else here? Reanimation protocols. 1 hit points each turn. Necrons have a sophisticated self-repair system that return even critically damaged warriors to the fight. I like this. 6 armor is also very nice on warriors. They do have 5 soldiers in the unit. Orcs have 6 boys. Marines also have 5. Space Marines. The guards have 8. So they have more health per entity. What do we have here? Fearless, so unaffected by morale and immune to fear. Fearless troops never give up and seldom take full use of cover, even if it would be wiser to do so. Monstrous creature, move to cover. Relentless, no penalty for heavy and ordnance weapons. And smash. Increases the melee armor penetration, mean 10 melee armor penetration. For the most fearsome creatures, a single blow is sufficient to breach a tank's armor or crush a living creature to a lot of pulp. So has a minimum of 10 melee armor penetration. Necrodermis repair, we can use influence to restore hit points once a turn. 6 hit points, pretty good. When Necron is only mild damage, their living metal body can someone heal itself, flowing the reserve metals to cover flaws and failings. And the Aura of Fear, some beings or some monsters are alien, but they can force their foes to their own horror. Aura of Fear is a passive which lowers nearby units' melee damage. So we don't have much options here, we just found the city here, consumes the unit. Neg Bakir. Yeah. The starting tile is plus 20 ore, which is nice. We are gonna have to read about their buildings. The Royal Court is our starting building, 6 population limit. The Wealth Ore. It's 9 default, but we get the extra from current loyalty and from features. The seat of the Necron, Farron, and his court is a great bleak building, one of the few great Necron buildings not originally built when they're dead. Instead, its shielding walls are a symbolic reflection of the intense radiation the Necrons suffered under, long ago on their original homeworld, when they were still weak creatures of flesh and bone. So we get 9 ore and 9 energy. And this is getting buffed currently by loyalty and the original tile. Slave Mastaba. Building and constructing buildings as well as generous influence increases loyalty. This is production 2 influence through loyalty. There's an upkeep of 3 ore. The Royal Court is the headquarters building. It's pretty much the main building in the city, which gives the the resources and the population limit. Every city starts with the Royal Court. So Slave Mastaba says here, everyone has a place in Necron society. The weak-fleshed races or the old ones live out their days under crude shelters, where they scrape together their own food, before being sent out to excavate the Necrons' long-buried tombs and retrieve the sleeping Necrons. Necrons use slaves. We have an influence building close by, and the food building is influence and population growth. Okay. We'll capture this. Get more influence. What else do we have? Construct alchemic quarry. Alchemic. This produces ore as upkeep energy. To find the rare materials the cryptex need to maintain and repair the living metal, necrodermis, and weaponry of the Necron troops. Slaves live and die in their alchemic quarries and smelters. Only a tiny fraction of the output is used, but it's critical to the Necron survival. So we don't have the food, the ore and energy is what we use. And the energy core is a building that generates energy. Pretty standard. You start with 5 buildings here that generate the resource outputs. Summoning core. This is the infantry creatures. Okay. They have 4 resource buildings. Whatever the Baroque technology is that the Necron use in their great energy cores, it outshines even the Imperial Plasma Ionizer for sheer power. And it needs to, given that the Necron dynasty depends upon its power supplies as other races do.
Have you seen that shit?
Food.
Holy shit! What the hell?
Oracle of Papier, thank you for the 6 months. The Forbidden Archive is for research. Before the fall, Necron cryptex were already masters of eldritch technology, able to manipulate matter and energy in the ways that seem magical to lesser races. With immortality came generations of learning, and the cryptic conclaves became more powerful than ever. The millennia have made them stagnant. In these archives, the conclave digs for the wisdom of the ancients, rather discovering the secrets of the universe anew. Construct Stella is for the influence. So the ore building has an upkeep of energy. The energy building has an upkeep of ore. The research building has an upkeep of ore. And building that generates influence has an upkeep of ore as well. So use energy to get ore, and to get energy, research, and influence, use ore. Posing sky-piercing columns of ancient stone metal, each Stella Pro records the reign of a long-ago pharaoh of the Necron dynasty. To see the records of millennia of implacable domination makes even the most stolid citizen of the Empire quail. 5 energy and 5 influence to acquire a tile. I learned that today that each tile costs an influence as an influence upkeep. Well, look at this. There's some pretty nice tiles here. We have ore and energy all immediately here. No production tile though. Tundra actually lowers loyalty. I don't know if we had the Tundra tiles before. Rapid rise in care. Times of desperation, Necron Lord can override safety protocols in reanimation troops or repair vehicles at the cost of heavily increased losses. He will, however, lose support amongst any those of the ruling class who retain sentience. In horror are the waste of resources. So we can use influence to rush the production. Tier 1, core refinements, increase production output of summoning cores. Summoning core. Yeah, this is the building we didn't read. Only produce infantry creatures as well as generates research and influence. 2 research to influence. Hey, come on, Spuma. So it's a production building. Awakening the long deactivated troops of a Necron dynasty is slow work, as is repairing those who fall in the field. The Canoptex and Cryptex of the summoning core diligently save those who recall to the city, and dismantle the rest for their rare necrodermis. So it will increase the production of summoning cores. Dimensional corridor grants the infantry the ability to teleport to cities and monoliths. Okay. So infantry teleport around. Hyperstyle temple, a building that produces ground vehicles as well as increases loyalty. We can build the infantry building in the main tile. As a 1 slot, same like the Space Marines have. Okay, there's a 1 slot here. Yeah, we'll then go with the summoning core first. Take 6 turns. Royal Pyramid building that produces heroes as well as generates influence and increases loyalty. And we don't seem to have any production tiles. We do have extra ore production here as well. Ah, that's fine. Rusted slaves increase the ore output of alchemic quarries. Let's get for the ground vehicles and that increases the loyalty. Okay, so we're done with turn 1. We have Quest, Scourge, or the Old Ones. As a proud leader of a Necron tier dynasty, you would never know defeat, never, until your people met the Old Ones and dared to attack their star-spanning empire. The dynasty had been on the front line when the war with the Old Ones started, and you were some of the first to face their wrath. Your fringe worlds were scoured and your core worlds besieged for generations. When Satan called the messenger and now the deceiver promised your people immortality through biotransference into undying machine bodies, you snatched at it greedily. Later you betrayed him and his kind, shattering them into Satan shards now used as weapons. To no avail, sadly, though your new soulless bodies were nigh indestructible, even as their empire collapsed the old ones. Even as their empire collapsed, the old ones encircled your crown world and used their uncanny powers to trap you within it, driving their warp technology into its surface, binding you to the depths. You retreated to the underground stasis tombs that Zarek, the Silent King, has ordered constructed, and waited for the final assault, which never came. Eventually you slept, awaiting the silent King's Call. Now 60 million years. What the hell? 60 million years have passed and you have awoken into chaos. Signs of battle between the old ones, humanoid creations litter the surface. Also the ancient enemy's traps. This devastated your people upon awakening, leaving a few surviving tombs widely scattered. To the warp storm you can hear nothing from your overlord Zarek. 16 million years? Holy shit. Where are the old ones? Who won the war? Is this another trap? Where are your Satan gods? We must investigate cautiously. Our first task is to quickly wake a cohort to defend against the old ones' forces. Our objective to construct a summoning core, produce warriors, and invoke rapid rise on the warriors' production. Reward is 50 energy. Okay, there's energy and influence building here. We have a rapid fire, so it's a lot of damage here. Lower the audio a little. Crude hounds. Necron damage is very good. The rapid fire on those units increases damage on the short range. What do we have here? We have a Ghost Flare. Same thing we have on the warriors. And we also have a Particle Whip. 6 damage on attacks, 4 armor penetration, accuracy 8. Range 2, large blast ordnance, so it's against groups and vehicles. These are particle weapons. Yeah. Take the outpost here. We'll clear this. Take this one here as well. To research, we can actually. We are not really worried about this. We can always repair. Oh, look at that enslaver there. Main catcher. We have the rapid fire. Summon a reduction on the outpost as well. We do have good morale, so we should not be worrying about the enslavers. This thing do penetrate all armor though. How much damage will do? Ooh, we'll do quite a bit of damage. We should not play with this thing. Is this a cliff? Looks like it's a cliff. Let's get some help on. Taking my research there. I didn't see what we got there. We got the main catcher. Okay. Oh, the common main catcher on the enslaver. Reduces the movement and accuracy of the target enemy unit. There's a cooldown 3 turns, range 1 tile. It also lowers the accuracy movement down. An ancient capture device with spiked collar violently dissuades its prisoner from tempting escape, and may loosen their tongue to boot. Though most consider it too primitive a weapon, a handful of inquisitors are resolute that its simple barbarism achieves results that more contemporary methods simply cannot. We're gonna open up a fire here. So 1.5 damage on. I'm gonna call in 2 turns. take the research. Maybe those things move towards us and we have the Overwatch. Three speed is pretty much default moment. Okay. Got the Hypostyle Temple. There's a building for the ground vehicles and also increase loyalty, so 2 loyalty. This high roofed building is lined with pillars inside. Between them rest or float the great war machines of the Necrons. The activated Doomsday Arcs, Annihilation Barges, Monoliths and Obelisks wait in serried ranks for the day when a Lord calls for their repair and they can lead their armies, his armies once more. Hypostyle Temple. We have another production building now. We can produce warriors. This gives us research and influence at a cost of 2 ore. Now we need to get ore production. The warriors cost 30 energy. Get another warrior. 5 turns. We could use the influence here, but no. Might be able to deal with this thing here. It does a lot of damage. We do have a pretty good morale on our units. Oh, what do we have here? It's an artifact which increases the sight. This thing might just fit because we do have the firepower here. Or output of alchemic quarries. So what's the default? Default is 6. It's a support hero. Destroyer Lord. There's quite a bit of useful stuff here. I need to open with a research building so we get more stuff. Production output summon cores, I guess we're not gonna get this now. In the beginning should not be really relevant here. It's only like extra ore. Let's get the Royal Pyramid for the heroes. Okay. We do have morale to resist this shit, unlike the guardsmen. Now this thing is gonna get wrecked. We have the rapid fire. We lost 2 morale. I don't think the Necrons are gonna be affected by the enslavers. Luckily, the thing is fleeing. Okay, let's get some ore production. 4 turns. Okay, no Castellan robots, thank God. Okay, Slayer kill. Got level 2. Now more damage, more health, more morale. Everything increased. We need action to take this. I guess it's a gameplay thing, but they do have high morale, the highest of all. All systems are operational. The psychological state of the unit. I guess they could have removed their morale and lower their health or something, because it affects damage. And hey, Manuel, they do have really high morale. It's basically like the dwarves of this game with the morale. We can use the unit to use the necrodermis. I don't care about it. We're getting repaired. We got a royal pyramid, the tomb of the Pharaoh, overlord or lord, and his court. This is where all the most loyal and important tenants are treated to sleep away the centuries until the universe was ready again. Even now, great heroes still lie sleeping in its core, awaiting their lord's call. Start with a regular lord. We can unlock cryptic and destroy lord. We'll take the energy and influence building here. And take the artifact as well. Get more sight here. And there is some energy here. Okay, no Castellan robots. So we get the hounds and the enslavers. The Castellan robots are a little nasty early. It's a lot of outposts. Very nice. Do we even have another spot for a city? I don't see any area yet. I haven't discovered it. And we want to complete the quest with every faction, yeah, before I turn them off. We need more energy, We have to rapidize once. No range damage reduction. That's why they do so much damage. Reduction number of the hypostyle temples. This is for the machine vehicles. We're gonna use it again, huh? We can use it here as well. Yeah. Yeah. Use both. It is the armor tomb blades. We're going to need the shelter building. It's for extra population. Or hounds. Scourge of the old ones completed. The living have spread across the world like weeds, particularly the virulent humans. The old one's final curse, whose primitive dwellings cover the surface. Enslave them if you can, exterminate them if you cannot. 3 scattered units for 50 influence. Okay, we got the ore building. They have a spot list also for the energy building, which is nice. Looks like we don't have any extra production slots. It looks like every faction has their own soundtrack. We haven't heard this soundtrack before, but this is the first time we play Necrons. Guys, hear the music? Look, it looks like the Necrons soundtrack with my main soundtrack. I'm gonna get the Hippo style temple. This one has no bonuses. We'll take it here, and we'll work on another warrior. One of my favorite things about Civilization 5 and Civilization 6, how every faction has their soundtrack, unique soundtrack. In Civilization 5 they had like their peace theme and their war theme, which is probably one of my favorite thing about Civilization 5. Maybe it's the soundtrack of the there is a soundtrack of Necrons and the Space Marines, because there are Space Marines also in the game. I have an Overwatch here. But we have rapid fire. Nice, Scotty. Okay, this unit will die in the wire raid, I think. Yeah. Looks like the neutral units don't take damage from wire raid. Okay. Forest grassland. Okay. Particle weapons. Which have a large blast and ordnance. Arrow sound penetration. Yeah, let's get the Hippo style temple here. We have more loyalty here. I mean, influence. Take some damage here. There's a forest cover here. Oh, we do have protection from the forest. It's up to 50%, minimum 50% damage, range damage reduction. I'll take now more damage.